Hi everybody, this is your boy Legit here, coming at you with a brand new video idea. So I wanted to go over all the brand new perks and how they relate to the brand new Warzone system. A couple of the people who I was playing with yesterday had some questions in terms of what they should go with, and I'm just kind of making this video just to go over that and hopefully explain some things and how viable different perks are. Now, as to starting it, we're going to go with double time. This is actually very good if you know you're going to be doing a lot of crouching and moving around, especially inside buildings. So if you're going somewhere like downtown or any of the big cities, double time might actually be one of the best things you can do because that increased crouch movement speed by 30% helps a ton when you're just trying to run around and be quiet. EOD is also very nice because obviously any explosive damage is going to be negated, so it definitely helps to always have that. Scavenger, I found, I did try it out. I didn't notice anything. Obviously, I don't think you get any additional ammo from anything. Ammo doesn't seem to be in short demand for this game mode, so I would definitely go with skipping Scavenger. Now, my favorite is Cold Blooded, specifically because what it does is it specifically targets the thermal sights. Thermal sights are overpowered in this game mode, and basically I've found that about 40 to 60% of the people who are killing me always seem to have a thermal sight on either an AR or a sniper rifle. Comes in super clutch because they cannot see you as easily. Especially because I, for one, like to sit with a sniper myself and be able to play very safe and smart. So the fact that I don't just ping on automatically to those people helps me a ton in the end. This is the one that I would honestly recommend going with. Kill chain is also a very good one as well. It increases your chance of finding kill streaks in supply boxes. If you're someone like me who doesn't necessarily spend their money on the kill streaks in the supply boxes, this might be something to help you out a lot as well if you're not going to be sitting in a kind of like my game style where I like to sit and play smart and be safer. This one is the one that I would honestly recommend if you're going to be moving into the cities as well, but you're not going to be playing as stealthy as double time would allow you to be. Quick fix, I would just ignore this one. Killing players immediately starts health regen. A lot of the times, you're pretty much going to be full health with your armor anyways. It's definitely not something that's going to come in clutch for you. I would just ignore this one completely. Now on to the perk 2 skill tree. Restock is actually one that does come in very clutch. Recharging equipment over 50 seconds rather than 25 seconds definitely has its downsides, but whenever you get a custom loadout and it's going to be constantly giving you either the syringes, which again can kind of negate the quick fix in the perk 1 skill tree. But restock is something that can become very clutch for your lethals. I, for one, like to run C4s on mine, so being able to recharge that over 50 seconds does come in clutch as well. Hardline is honestly the one that I ran for the longest time, specifically because 25% off kiosk prices for kill streaks, field upgrades, and armor plates. Those are literally all I buy when the field upgrades and armor plates. So being able to spend my cash on these custom loadout boxes itself comes in really handy late game, and you're almost always going to be prepared. Overkill is what I have been running though, specifically because I have been running a sniper rifle with a thermal sight as well as the MP5 with monolithic suppressor. And I will show that at the end of this video just to kind of show you my favorite build for weapons. High alert, I have not used this one. I do not know the range on the ping system. I do know that it works very short range, as into about 50 to 75 meters. Anything past that, I do not know. I would do further research and test this one out yourself to just kind of get an idea as to the distance that this works, because I'm not positive, but it seems to be very viable. Anytime you have a sniper looking at you, maybe from the east, and you're looking north, can definitely come in very clutch and would be a very good option. I just don't know how viable this is. Ghost is also extremely viable for the one reason of UAVs are very strong. They only last for about 20 seconds to 30 seconds, it feels like. I don't know the exact time on it, but Ghost can be very clutch for a team, especially whenever you have three people rocking it and they're very focused on a team battle. Obviously, something to look into. Point Man, in my opinion, it's always nice to have one person with Point Man. All members of your team earn more money from completed missions. That gives you a ton more money to spend on self-res kits, as well as armor plating and kill streaks. again, it's very nice to always have one person on your team running point man, and I have another build that I have this on specifically to help my teammates out whenever we are able to get an early custom supply drop. So definitely, again, look into it. Now, adds into the perk 3 skill tree. Tune Up is the one that I like. Specifically, reduce revive time by 25%. This comes in clutch. I can't tell you how many times from about 50 meters out one of my teammates have gotten sniped just from day one. And being able to get them up to have the extra bullet power has come in clutch more times than I can count. So this is my favorite one, but obviously, there's specifically a few more that I'm going to point out that will specifically suit to your playstyle. Amped is very nice if you're the kind of person who likes to use the rocket launchers, but not only that, use a shotgun secondary or a nice submachine gun secondary. The faster weapon swap, especially going from a sniper rifle or say a M4 AK to the shotgun or rocket launcher, comes in handy a lot. I was rocking this one for a couple games and it helped me out a lot. So this is one that it's extremely viable inside Warzone as well. Shrapnel, I'm just gonna say I find this to be completely useless in Warzone. You don't spawn with an whenever you get your custom loadout, you do start with two of your lethal, but it's not as viable as you think it is. Maybe if you're very aggressive with C4 or with grenades, you can chuck them in and then follow up with a grenade. I would shy away from this one. It's not as viable, and it's just there are better skills in the perk 3 tree. Battle Hardened is another one you can go with. I have found that not a lot of people are using the flash stun, the EMP, or the gas grenades. Um, the gas grenades themselves, I've found that not a lot of people are using. But even then, the only time I have run into people actually using them is in the bigger cities. And again, it's just generally if they're going to be using it, you're probably holding an angle on the same doorway they're coming into. So just get ready to pre-fire, and it almost instantly negates the ability itself. Spotter, I will also tell you, I've tried it. I don't recommend it. It doesn't. I don't know the range on how far you can see the gadgets and stuff like that. But a lot of the times, whenever you're actually playing in the big cities, you're not going to be coming across a lot of claymores or proximity mines. I've ran into a couple proximity mines specifically around Quarry, but other than that, that's really all I see. And most people tend to go with the grenades, especially early on. This may change, but I would shy away from spotter. Tracker is very useless in this game mode. I have found that the enemies who are leaving behind footprint trails, it's always seems to be basically going to teammates. So especially if you're tracking by yourself, almost extremely useless. Again, I would go with either amped or tune up. It's going to come in way more handy for you. So I definitely would recommend shying away from tracker. That is going to be it, though, for just the skills that I would recommend, as well as kind of what everything does in a brief glimpse. Now I'll go over and I'll kind of go through my favorite loadout and show you what I'm talking about. So this is it right here. This is my Battle Royale sniper loadout that I've been rocking. I run an HDR sniper and the MP5. My lethals, I go with the C4, and I like the stim specifically because it kind of helps negate the quick fix ability. Pardon me, I couldn't remember what it was. But as for attachments, I would highly recommend rocking a monolithic suppressor on it, just specifically for the sound suppression and the damage range. You can be sniping people from a very long range, and they will have no idea where you're coming from. Obviously, when they turn around, they'll eventually see your sniper glint. But definitely do that. Barrel, I rock the 26.9. I like to go for the long range snipes. It helps with the bullet velocity and that drop off, which I still haven't been quite able to figure out in this game mode. So that's just what I would go with. That's completely up to your preference, though. As for the optic, again, I said it earlier, thermal sights are just overpowered. You almost have to have one, at least on one of your guns. People stand out like a sore thumb, and until the cold-blooded perk becomes known and very more common, this is going to be the sight that you want to go with, just no questions asked. As for the stock as well, I run the FTAC Champion. I love the aiming stability that comes with it. Um, I did know that one of my buddies was rocking the Hunter Scout. He just said it looked cooler, but I don't know if there's actually a tactical difference for it. You get a little bit more mobility, slightly less accuracy. I like that accuracy for the range that I have been sniping people. I try to go for 200, 300 meter snipes. So FTAC champion all the way. And last but not least, the perk. I love the extended hold breath because especially when people are moving and you're really trying to get that additional shot. Definitely going to be coming in clutch. Another one that can come in handy is focus, increased control of aim while being shot. So if you're getting shot at and you're trying to hit that nice shot, this one will come in clutch for you as well. Now this sniper specifically has very slow ADS. So again, I tend to hold a lot of long angles with it. I have seen a couple sniper builds that focus on ADS, but they have a drastic decrease in bullet velocity and drop off for your bullet. So it's really going to come down to your playstyle, but this is the sniper that I'm going to recommend using. Now, onto the secondary, I would highly recommend the MP5, or you could probably go with the P90 or the Uzi. I've found that both are very good in this game mode, but I prefer the MP5. Definitely go with the monolithic suppressor. The damage range, especially on the MP5, because it already is so low, and the sound suppression. Sound suppression is very big so far, especially with how it's been very campy. Very few teams are being overly aggressive at the moment, especially while players are still learning the map. Monolithic suppressor is the one that I'm going to guarantee will get you the most for your money. As for the barrel, I run the FFS Mini. I like the extra ADS speed, specifically for those close range engagements that I find myself stuck in. Monolithic integral suppressor could be one if your gun is previously built away from ADS speed. So if you have other perks or other perks or attachments going into it, I would highly go with the monolithic integral suppressor. Again, helps with that sound suppression and a slightly additional range as well. But I go with the FSS Mini specifically for that ADS speed. Optic, this is really up to you. If you're good with the iron sights, go with the iron sights on this gun, 100%. Another option you could do, I don't have it unlocked, but the thermal sight on this is going to come in very clutch for you. I just prefer the GI Mini Reflex specifically because it's a nice small frame, very small dot, and it helps me in very close range engagements, which I find myself stuck in again. So this is completely, I would recommend going away from an optic, but if you're going to go with an optic, this is going to be a good build for you. As for the underbarrel, I like the operator foregrip. Helps with that additional recoil control because the gun itself kind of has funky recoil. Another one you could go with would be the commando foregrip, but I just have found that the slight additional accuracy that comes with the operator foregrip, it's just better. But you could also end up going with the ranger foregrip. It's going to be very minimal, but again, just operator foregrip is what I'm going to recommend for you. Ammunition, this one's entirely up to you. I go with the 10mm 30 round mags. That slight additional damage I found comes in handy for me. But the 45 round mags, you can either go with that or the 30 round. I find that ammo, again, isn't necessarily a problem in Warzone. So I would highly recommend going with the 30 round mags if you find that you're in constant situations where you are able to get one or two picks off, reload, and then try to finish off the team. So that is going to be it for my loadout and what I recommend. But hopefully me going over the perks actually helped you out a little bit. So again, I hope everybody had a great day. I hope I was able to explain everything and put everything into a very simple perspective. I would like to get some gameplay with the perks inside Warzone. That'll be my next to-do list. But I wanted to get this out because, again, I was getting some questions just from people who I was playing with when I was solo queuing. So make sure you drop a comment if there's something else that maybe I missed, maybe an additional perk, or if you have an opinion, maybe something like if you think cold-blooded is useless or you think quick fix is the best perk to go with Warzone. Drop that down in the comments. I definitely want to hear it. So thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and make sure to hit the like button as well. So